Boom, a flash of lightning streaks across the sky. Three witches appear and say some self-contradictory, paradoxical sentences. Fair is foul, foul is fair. What is that even supposed to mean? In this very first scene, we get introduced to the paradoxical nature of this play. Literally, the witches are saying that good is bad and bad is good, self-contradictory. Throughout the rest of the Scottish play, we will get continuations of this theme. We immediately get to a transition to a wounded soldier talking to Duncan about how brave he was on the battlefield, fighting the enemies of Ireland and Norway like a lion and an eagle. We get a glimpse into who Macbeth really is, a ruthless warrior chopping off the enemy's general head in one swing. As we see from the scene, there's a motif of blood. In this scene, we have a wounded soldier who has blood covered all over him, and he goes to Duncan. And this is a sign of how blood makes you look really brave and strong. Duncan was really impressed with how this soldier has battled and how Macbeth was currently fighting in the battlefield by cutting people's heads off. Ding dong, who is it? Three little witches again. What do they want? To piss off Macbeth. Who's with Macbeth? BFF Banquo. Three little up to Macbeth and tell three stupidly true prophecies. Thou shalt be Thane of Glamis. What a stupid idiot. I'm already Thane of Glamis. Get out of here. Thou shalt be Thane of Carter. Still scrum. Thane of Carter is alive and well. Don't put me in borrowed robes. A brief theme of clothing is introduced. Robes represent titles. Thou shalt be King of Scotland. Huh? This witch is obviously off the perks. I ain't gonna betray my king. Banquo. Hell yeah, they trippin'. And you, Banquo, your sons will be king, but guess what? You won't because you're dead. The hell? These psychos really put a death threat upon me? Let's get out of here. The theme of fair is foul and foul is fair, where everything is not as it seems and characters change lots. Throughout the play, we see characters turn into monsters and ambitious manipulators turn into feeble bystanders. This scene also sets the circle of nature of Macbeth and the debate between fate and free will. Is it fate that these events keep happening, or is it due to the cruel ambition of the Scottish royalty? Guess what? Macbeth is now Thane of Carter, meaning the prophecies were true. Macbeth cheers, goes absolutely batshit. Damn, guess I'm gonna die, whatever. Macbeth's basic idea is that if he does nothing, he will become king. Pretty self-explanatory. However, as all things come to a wrong turn in a Shakespeare tragedy play, the king decides to give his title to his eldest son, Malcolm, immediately after his passing. This infuriates Macbeth, and he feels like he has to do something to prevent this from happening. He fantasizes about killing the king, and then Malcolm. Macbeth now decides to send a letter to his wife, where she becomes absolutely crazy about this idea of becoming king. Unsex me here and fill me to the ground at the top, so full of dearest cruelty. Basically saying to make her rock hard and bloody thick. A man will do lots for his wife, especially if she insults his identity. In this age, to be a man is to be tough and almost cold-hearted. Note that the opinions do change, as Macduff says that a man is tough and compassionate, provoking Macbeth. Mrs. Macbeth convinces to kill Duncan by essentially daring him to do it. Thanks to the power of the plot revolving around the movie, Duncan is having a sleepover at Macbeth's crib. Hell yeah! Damn, your crib nice as hell. I'm definitely not gonna die here. Sleepover, baby. He did not know what was about to happen. What an idiot. Anyway, King Duncan goes to bed while Macbeth trips out on an imaginary dagger in front of him. Is that a dagger I see before me? Sick. Oh wow, what is this? Why is there blood on it? The motif of blood has now evolved. Before it represented honor, valor, triumph in the battlefield. Now it represents guilt and sinister desires, since the blood he sees on the dagger is the blood of about to be killed Duncan. And this is happening while Almac seduces and drugs some guards right next to Duncan. Here, take this. Anyway, Macbeth hears a ding-dong message from Lady Mac, where he goes to shank the king. I'm dead. Well, it was a good run for a solid 10 minutes in the play. Macbeth takes the knife back with him because it's for the plot. What a dumb move. Either don't do it right or do it. Wife tells him to put it back with him, but he's like, no, I'm too traumatized and scared to go back. At this point, Lady Macbeth is correct for calling him feminine. Just put the goddamn knife back or you're gonna regret it for the rest of the life. Not that he's not gonna have one anyway, since if they found out, he would be immediately executed. Everybody finds out about the death of their beloved king, and women scream. Everybody cries, for real, except Macbeth and Mrs. Macbeth, of course. Right now, everybody is really sus at Macbeth since he killed the guards that were right there. But his excuse was, sorry, I was too angry. And boom, plot hole. Lady Macbeth faints, and everybody suddenly forgets the fact that Macbeth just committed the most sus act of 1005. Anyway, because of this, both of Duncan's sons go flee to Ireland, and Britain. Now, Macbeth is king. Here's the first example of Macbeth's fall into stupidity. Before killing the king, he reconsiders and ponders over killing Duncan day and night, even though his wife's word after killing Duncan was too scared to go back to the room and filled with regret to even send off Duncan's soul with an amen. Shortly after that, he doesn't hesitate to kill both of Duncan's guards, even though he could have framed it. This is the start of his mass killing. Anyway, now that Macbeth is king, he invites all of his friends at BFF Banquo to open a mosh pit supper at his house. The thing is, Macbeth knows that Banquo is extremely sus of him, so he plots to kill Banquo. Banquo's like, "Aight, cool, Jit, but I'm gonna go ride with my horse first." Because, yeah, you better ride with your horse before I kill. What? Nothing, just, yeah, enjoy the horse, don't worry. Anyway, Macbeth hires 2 killers to go shank Banquo and his kid. Kill Banquo. Why? Banquo's a douchebag and made your life miserable. No, he hasn't, he's been chill. No, he actually really fucked your life and totally wasn't me. Damn, I guess I have to kill him. Anyway, Banquo and his son Fleons goes horse riding and totally saves spooky ass forest where 2 killers go stabby Banquo, but the one brain cell combined lets Fleons escape. See you, BFF Banquo. After this, Lady Mac completely switches sides and goes on a massive rant about how regretful she is for killing Duncan, basically saying how she is not content anymore even when she had everything she desired. She just wants to go back to normality. Boo-boo! The mosh pit has finally begun. They all chillin', Macbeth forming with the gang of Thanes until dead BFF Banquo pulls up and scares the absolute shit out of Macbeth. Now Macbeth is tripping off the porks and is going absolutely insane. The Thanes realize that Macbeth is probably a very bad king, legitimately throwing a fucking tantrum in the middle of a mosh pit. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. This man's crazy. Yeah, no, for real, man. Lady Macbeth tries to calm everyone down, saying that he has done this since childhood, barely working because everybody could tell Macbeth is going absolutely delusional because of the killing of this forever lover and the fact that he took not 1, but 2 vitamin gummies. Don't do that, it's an experience you'll never be able to take back. After this, we find out that the son of Duncan, Malcolm, is planning a revolt against Macbeth since he is a pretty shitty king, as well as having fat suspicions on him killing his father and Banquo. So Macduff goes to England to speak with Malcolm about the overthrowing of his tyrannical leader. Anyways, Macbeth goes back to the 3 witches where he asks for another story. Prophecy. He gets told by some heads that Macduff is sus, and he won't lose until trees start moving, unless they physically come to his castle. Remember that. And no man born of a woman can kill him. This prophecy, which would technically mean Macbeth is invincible unless some other bullshit event happens, gives Macbeth a massive sense of cockiness and black Air Force One energy, basically saying that he's invisible and unkillable by anyone. Since it is a tragedy, meaning Macbeth will die in the end, you can probably tell some bullshit is going to happen that will fulfill the prophecies. Will this be a supernatural sci-fi movie? Or spoiler, will Shakespeare find some other uninteresting way around the prophecies? Anyways, because of these prophecies, Macbeth is pretty much saying to himself, I'm unkillable, but I might as well kill Macduff and his family for the of it. He's always my enemy, lol. However, he learns that little snake Macduff has fled to England. Ah, shit. Can't kill him no more. I could still slaughter his family. Well, if Macduff didn't want to kill Macbeth before, he sure does now. Way to feed the prophecy, Mac. Macbeth and his hotboy gang of Thanes go to maraud Macduff and his family. On the way, Macduff's wife and kid have a deep conversation about how Macduff fled. Yo, my dad left. Law man's a snitch. Could we get another? Yeah, I could buy like 20. I'm basically drowning in cash right now. Messenger comes in, says Macbeth's hotboy gang is coming. Lady Macduff is like, whatever, I guess I just die. Let me just nothing to do. Even though Duffy's kid were going to be killed, his oldest defends his dad honor by calling them liars. The hotboy counter responded by calling him an egg. What an insult! Then he got tossed down a staircase and fired, his punishment for taking back. After this, an absolutely gruesome scene of Macbeth and his weenies burning down their entire family. We get a sudden transition to England, where Macduff has just arrived and is talking to Malcolm. With Macbeth now in full rule of Scotland, Malcolm is afraid that Macduff has also turned to the darker side, so he tests him. Man, like, just so you know, I'm not a good king. You know, I'm tyrannical like that dude. Smoking that pack every day. I think I'm addicted to crack. And you know, I'm in all of the woman's panties. And lie a lot. Macduff that sure didn't see that coming, huh? Are you dead ass? Yeah, man, for real, no cap. I swear on my life, I am shit. Dude, we're so screwed. You were the last hope. Psych, I'm actually chilling. Huh? Yeah, I'd be a good king. I was just playing a prank on you. Alright, so you're gonna help us get Macbeth? Hell yeah, I'm in. After this, a messenger pulls up and he gives the news all of Macduff's family is dead. I know biggies. Be a man, says Malcolm. Dude, no, that was my family, yo. I know I gotta be strong, but I gotta feel it like a man. Which, in my opinion, is what makes Macduff the most masculine and absolute Chad figure in all of this play. The fact that he can feel other emotions like sadness and sorrow other than these stone-faced beta themes. Because of this, Macbeth is now not happy at Macbeth and promises to fight Macbeth himself and chop his head off. Back in Scotland, Lady Macbeth has truly descended into madness. While Macbeth has become as ambitious and cocky as ever, important to note that the roles have effectively completely switched. A gentlewoman tells a doctor about the recent sleep walks of Lady Macbeth, how she writes letters and mumbles to herself in her sleep. She's trying to get him to cure her. What do you think of this, yo? Yeah, do not underestimate my abilities. I can cure all disease known to man. If you say so. Lady Macbeth appears out of nowhere now, carrying a light by her side at all times, since she is afraid that the darkness will consume her. Starting off by nibbling bit by bit at her girl. And this is completely different from the beginning, where she literally asked all the demons in hell to engulf herself in darkness and make her thick blood so she could kill the king. Now she's scared of the darkness, which is, you know, like, wow, way to go. Anyway, she kind of goes insane for a bit, talking about blood and regret, and goes to bed not before screaming like a squirrel getting his intestines ripped out by my lawnmower. She ducks to herself before she sees spots of Duncan's blood on her hands. Again, we see that blood motif has become something completely different from when it was first introduced into play. At that time, it represented courage and honor, since Macbeth was fighting for his country, free from any dark thoughts. Now, after the murder of Duncan, Banquo, and Macduff's family, the blood Lady Macbeth sees are the spilled blood of these people, whose lives have been ended short by the tyrannical rulers. Anyway, the doctor's like, yeah, this disease is beyond my practice. I've never seen this before. She's gonna die for sure. What did even happen to her? I don't know, man. Like, she tripping. Like, this isn't my responsibility, yo. After this, a bunch of things that were once loyal to Macbeth were like, you know, on second thought, this guy McDonald's really is sus, now that I think about it. Nah, whatever. I mean, let's just be loyal to him so we can get that cash and avoid losing our lives. Yeah, but I won't fight as hard for him since, you know, I think he actually did kill Duncan. Yeah, just appear to be fighting, but actually slack off while the old man will be killed and we don't have to do anything. Alright, Pat. Because of this, Macbeth becomes an absolute menace and extremely pissy at all the servants and soldiers. In this scene, Macbeth literally becomes the embodiment of Black Air Force One energy, bitch about anything and everything, really showing how much of a douchebag the king really is. He even called a soldier, "I fear thou lily-livered boy." Man, insulted the millennium right there. They really had great comebacks back in Shakespeare's day. Today it's all Zoomer humor. He screams at the doctor for not fixing his wife, along with asking for his armor, which probably does less than trying to fix a broken arm with a napkin. As Macbeth is doing this, the soldiers get a massive big brain idea about how they should put some branches on themselves and camouflage with burning wood. Macbeth sees this and he's like, ah shit, that branch that is obviously being held by a dude moving? Yep, burning wood's moving. I'm calling it. Being the smartest that he is, Macbeth decides that the prophecy is 2/3 fulfilled and that he should just give up in a sense. He orders his troops to fight like men, sword to sword, instead of using any other strategy. Had he not believed in the prophecy, he most likely would have won the siege. However, he tossed his chance by thinking that he was about to lose and that he should have made a move in desperation. This is one of the largest themes of the entire play, fate versus free will. Was Macbeth destined to kill the king and then be brutally overruled and executed? Or was this a product of the witch's manipulation tricking him into believing the prophecies are true? Similarly, are our lives already predestined, and can we already set to go down a certain path, or do our every action in the present affect directly our results in the future? Something to think about, huh? Anyway, because Macbeth sees a couple branches moving towards him and thinks that he's basically dead, so he decides to take his Black Air Force One energy outside and settles like a man, dying like a warrior. Totally not what happened at all. Before he decided to just camp it on the castle and let arrows kill the English army. He absolutely bitch slapped young sewage, a character who we knew for an entirety of 2 minutes, and goes to Macduff and is like, yo, you killed my family, I'ma kill you. Oh no, I don't care. I won't die to some woman-born dude. Actually, I'm a C-section. Huh? What the fuck? Like, that doesn't matter. Like, you were stillborn and then, ow, what the fuck, you cut my head off! Macbeth is now dead. Anyway, even though Macduff did basically all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, Malcolm is like, ah, thanks, G. Long live me. Wait, what? I did all the hard work. What the hell? This is unfair. The end. For real this time. No psych.